Check one, two. There we go. Check one, two. All right. Hey, it's Bruce Hill, new skills new you, where I believe one new skill will change your life. And we focus on asking better questions. So that could be in your coaching business as a frontline leader, uh, as a sales professional, making better business decisions. That's really where we shine. So one of the big things I get is I get a lot of sales questions. I got a couple questions here. So I kind of feel like a newscaster, like a teleprompter. You're like today at 7 o'clock on YouTube Live. uh, so I'm gonna answer these one, two, three, four. Four questions. I'll share a little bit about what I do. And the goal is twofold to help you increase your revenue and grow your business. So I always separate those because more revenue doesn't mean you grew your business. You can get to a point where you're overwhelmed. You can get to a point where clients are unhappy. And so your revenue's grown, but your business hasn't grown. And that can be disastrous. It can end up being self-sabotaging. So it's got to be both. And that's where I wrote the book. Do I want to get up and get it? I do. I do actually. I don't know if you can pause. Listen, I'm a sales enablement specialist, not a YouTuber. One second. I wrote the book called Better Questions, Better Clients. Actually, super excited. Already sold the first 100 copies. Hoping to get a bulk order closed and um and then be over 250. So super excited about the progress there and the lives and businesses have changed. You can grab a copy, askingbetterquestions.com. So I wrote this book because I realized the biggest way I can impact you and your business in the least amount of time is by teaching you to ask better questions. So it says how to attract and keep clients by improving clarity, confidence, and effective communication. Really proud of this. Thanks to everyone to help make this possible. So it's often not sales training that folks need. I don't need to teach you how to overcome objections, um, master persuasion, or uh, close. They- Those are all useful, but clarity comes first. Confidence comes first. Communication comes first. If we can achieve those in your business and it spreads to your business, it spreads to your team. And that's where we start to see increase in sales. So even if you're on a customer success team, you're going to see retention improve. If you're on the product team, using the Better Questions framework is going to help you be more effective in your role, and the long-term growth of the business is impacted. So, operations team, I currently am applying it to customer-facing roles, but I'm starting to see over and over again where, in fact, impacts positively so many areas of the business. So let me just check over here. Beautiful. Checking if there's any more questions that popped up. All right, so question number one. For Bruce, please give an example of using better questions to gain better clients. Oh, wow. Ha, that's perfect. All right, so I would start with that one. How do we use better questions to gain better clients? It starts with the very first P. There's four P's in the better question framework. People, promise, process, pricing. And the very first question we ask is, who can we serve with excellence? And that's a little bit different. It sounds like the ideal customer or who's your avatar. So for me, we'll just use my business. I love professional service businesses. SaaS businesses, I put them under that category as well. They obviously it's a unique industry, so I make the distinction, but that's the target audience. Who's the avatar? Well, we want folks with at least 5 employees, but right now less than 500. I'm working on the enterprise solution, but honestly, you get to that point, go reach out to Franklin Covey, go reach out to what's those other guys? I don't know. There's options, but I like Franklin Covey because my buddy works there, and they operate with excellence. So 5 to 500, professional services, frontline leaders, second line leaders, right? Those leaders of leaders, folks are making strategic decisions. They've got to care about what they do. So what I've seen about this question, who can we serve with excellence? There is some demographics in there, but there's psychographics as well. They care about what they do, they care about who they do it for, they care about their people, and they have a get better mentality. They want to grow, they want to improve. So they're doing well. Let's say, how do we accelerate? How do we multiply? How do we grow? Those are folks that I end up working really well with. And we talk about better clients, you have to think about, where does your last referral come from? Where does your last 5-star review come from? And there's people that you like working with and that like working with you. Now, I try not to get too emotional in business. However, the only business is people. So I want you to work with people that you like working with. It starts with the better question, who can we serve with excellence? And then underneath that, you start to ask, where are they hanging out? What do they care about? What language are they using? How can we connect with them? Where do we get started in working with them? How can we add value to them? It starts with, who can we serve with excellence? So great question. It's all part. And you know what? Shameless plug. We cover that in deeper, uh, better questions, better clients, right? Visit askingbetterquestions.com to get your copy. All right, Bruce, how long would you say a person should keep pursuing their dream to be an entrepreneur before pivoting? Oh, that's easy. Oh, I love that question. Don't. Don't be an entrepreneur. Um, it's difficult. It will show you all the bad things about yourself. It will challenge you in ways you weren't planning or prepared for. It's it's tough. What I would recommend instead is buy a business, even if a piece of it. So that can look different. Like, this is not investment advice. So I'm not talking about a stock investments. That's not a terrible way to go. Again, I'm not an investor, not telling you what to do with your money, but figure out where you can own a system that runs without you. Maybe it might take some startup capital, right? Whether that's time, energy, or money. But you want to buy a system, you want to buy a business so that whether you're sleeping, you're at work, you're on the beach, that system is working without you. That's really what I encourage, honestly, just about everyone to do. Everyone should own something that pays them. Um, Whether or not they were involved in the day to day. So if you still insist on being an entrepreneur, here's my advice. You have to realize that progress is a win. You have to realize that as long as you're making progress, you're winning. And that there's some deep truth. I'm not going to get into it here. When we tell you that who you become along the way is more important than where you're going. And that's tough because you want the award, the accolade, the recognition, the accomplishment. Who you become along the way is more important than where you're going. So I think the quote goes, be stubborn on the why and flexible on the how. So I don't know if you should ever quit trying to be an entrepreneur. What you want to be careful about is sacrificing everything you have. And I'm talking about your physical health, your mental health, right? Your sanity. Possessions, you can replace those. Sacrificing your relationships in the pursuit of entrepreneurship. I don't know if that's healthy, and I don't believe it's necessary. Because if you're truly in alignment with your purpose, if your passion is consistent, is in harmony with where you're going, you don't have to sacrifice who you are to get to where you're going. You become a better version of who you are on the way. So if you're like, man, I don't think about this entrepreneurship, don't quit. Slow down, but don't quit. And go get a job, side hustle. That's fine. Think of it as your investor, your silent partner that's helping you grow the business. And so people's like, oh, you got to go all in. You gotta bet everything. I don't think that's true. I think the most important thing you can do and your pursuit of entrepreneurship, whatever that looks like for you, is investing in you. So if you go to the back of the book, um, it says new skills, new you, right? And the philosophy that one new skill will change your life. So it's not a dollar amount, it's not an employee head count, it's a matter of who are you. And that's where you'll, if you've got a passion for where you're going, for how the world will change because of what you pour into it, never quit and be flexible on how you get there. Some days you're going to work once a week on your business because you've got two jobs. Um, some days the only progress you did is going to be read a book on the field, on the industry. Some weeks it's just going to be, hey, I only told 100 people on LinkedIn, right? Um, in that whole week. So where did I put it? In pursuing your dream, never quit pursuing your dream, but just don't get stuck trying only one way to get there. I hope that helps somebody. Thanks for that question. All right. Question number three. Bruce, what would you tell someone that is struggling with selling because they don't have a background in sales? Oh, I love that question. Yeah, great. All the two best people that I've ever trained, the categories of people that I've ever had the pleasure of training for whatever job or role have always had the same two characteristics. They were introverts and they had no sales background. And that actually worked out to their advantage because introverts listen more effectively than extroverts. And that reflection, that silence helps them close more deals. Listening closes deals, right? I need to like clip this right here and just shout it, plus big old bold text. Listening closes deals, not talking. Listening closes deals. And then when we talk about um, not having a sales background, good. You don't have any bad habits to unlearn. The only pure sales training I'm going to give you is how to effectively communicate the value of your product or service. That's the only pure sales training that I'm going to give you. But guess what? I'm really proud of this book because it's like everything everything you're asking is in here. Clarity. That's really what that's about. I talked about effectively communicating, hey, you're here, you want to get here. My product or solution puts those two together. What would you like to do next? And if people say, well, I'd like to be over here. I'm like, great, here's step one. You got to sign up. And so, yes, that is a sell, but we're not trying to convince people to work with us. We're showing them what's possible if they work with us and letting them decide if they want to work with us. That's it. That's simple. Hold on one second. Say hi to my dad. Listen, there's a few people I'm always going to answer the phone for, because I never want to get to a point where they're not calling anymore. And I'm like, man, I really wish I had taken that last call. So it's all good. He's asking for some advice on on a business project. So super excited that he's reaching out for my input. And so that's an opportunity to serve. So really excited. So let's ask this last question. And I'm going to call my dad back. All right, Bruce. What did you sell to succeed, and how long did it take you to get where you are today? So, oh, wow, a philosophical question. Once you realize that what I do is 5% sales training, like 95% of it is your personal development, your professional development, it's leadership, it's business growth, it's philosophy, it's life coaching. And then, oh, by the way, you're going to make more money from work with me because if you grow, your business grows. So let's start with how long did it take you to get here? Um, there's time and there's repetitions. So let's use a marathon. A marathon is 26 point, is it 2 miles? Uh, let's say it takes you a month to go 26.2 miles. All right. You still ran a marathon, but let's be honest, you're not going to win any awards. Now, if you finish 26 marathons in 30 days, and I believe that has been done or close to it, Google it, right? I'm I'm your better questions coach, not your running coach. That'd be pretty impressive. So what you have to understand is how long it took you isn't really the point. If you're just like, man, I've been doing this for 10 years, but you've had one client. If you so I've been an author for 10 years, but you've written one book and you sold 100 copies. That's not really the point. So I don't like to measure things in time as a sense of accomplishment or achievement purely for the sake of it took us this amount of time. The better question is, what have you accomplished in that time? What have you achieved within this time? How many lives have you changed within this time? So the answer to that question, how long uh, did it take you to get to where you are, is repetitions, not time. If you want to take longer to get to repetitions, then that's fine. But I really like to use Kobe Bryant because not only did he start early, started at maybe around 4 or 5, he would practice year around. So if you look at, let's say there's 4 quarters in a year, and most people just practice, between games and prep 3 quarters out of the year. He practiced all four. All right. So that means in 3 years, he did what everyone else took 4 years to do. So it's less time. You're like, well, how long did it take you? It only took him 3 years. Why? Because he got more repetitions in. And that's what you want to recognize about anything you do, whether it's being a better leader, whether it's being better in operations, whether it's being better at sales, whether it's being better at fill in the blank. A parent, where can you get in repetitions? Where you can get practice? Where you can get opportunities to hone your skills? That's the question you want to ask. That's the reason I'm as good as I am, as young as I am, is because I just put more reps in. And again, you've gotta ask yourself what your priorities are. If you want to rest on the weekends and play video games and grill out or watch sports, whatever, that's fine. As long as again, if it's in harmony with your values. Me, I worked 7 days a week for 2 years. We had training we had to go to once a week. I went 6 days a week. And so what happens is I got very good very fast. I ended up setting sales records for that organization. I ended up top 100 nationwide, an organization of 7,000. I just did more, more quickly. And I I wouldn't have had to do that if I was really good at selling. And this is something I want to overemphasize. I'm not really good at selling because I'm a natural born closer. I'm really good at selling because I practice. Then I got really good at training because I practice. And I got really good at teaching because I practice. And I got really good at speaking because I practice. I've been practicing speaking for almost 30 years now. So now that's why I love doing lives because there's so much AI out here that being authentic, right? Getting calls from your dad in the middle of a conversation, going to grab a book, like you can't, at least not yet. You can't program an AI. So there's something to be said for authenticity. But this didn't become possible overnight just because I put a headset on and started up the YouTube channel. It became possible over practice. And oh, that's a bar. Write that down. So what did I sell to get there? I sold what people wanted to buy. That's it. A lot of people mess up. They're like, oh, I'm so good at selling. I can sell anything to anyone. But they're not getting referrals. They're not getting repeat customers. They're getting terrible reviews. They're getting returns and chargebacks, disputes. I don't want you to be that person. I don't want you to be a killer closer and a master manipulator. You're not going to get that if you come work with me. People that come work with me have a passion for what they do and who they do it for. They want to operate in integrity in a way that's consistent with their values. I'm going to challenge you to grow. We're going to have to do things that are uncomfortable, but it's always going to be legal, moral, and ethical. And we're going to help you grow so that your business grows. That's why people work with me versus a pure training organization. So when someone asks me, what did you sell to succeed? Spent very little time convincing people they should buy. I spent more time finding people that needed or wanted what I was selling and educating them why working with me was the best choice for them. So again, it comes back to effective communication. It comes back to clarity and the confidence to say, hey, listen, I know if you make this purchase, this product or service, your life and business will be better. Will you give me the opportunity to show you how? When you talk like that, you don't have to convince people. They're like, man, he's convinced, I'm convinced. And that's the difference from working with me. That's why your business grows from working with me. That's why introverts do so well, because I just teach them to ask better questions. I teach them confidence. Yes, confidence is a skill. I teach effective communication, not talking more, but listening better. And then everything around them shifts in a positive direction. And that's what I love to do for you. So here's what you can do. You're like, man, this guy Bruce is talking nice. The audio's terrible. The video's terrible. But I like what he's saying. You can visit askingbetterquestions.com, hit claim bonus. For the code, just put YouTube, grab the Better Questions Toolkit. Some more knowledge and gems in there. Anyone on that list is going to get a sneak preview, early access, whatever you want to call it, to the digital course. And again, I just want to keep pouring into you and pouring into you because I keep helping you ask better questions. Your business grows. You can say, man, we made a little money. And I want you to read that, reinvest that back in your business, and we'll go to the next level and implement the Better Questions framework in your business. I hope this was valuable to you. Thank you for everyone that submitted questions. AskingBetterQuestions.com, claim your free bonus for the Better Questions Toolkit so you can get more of those questions and how to ask them to grow your business, increase your sales. And then we'll continue to pour in, continue to support your growth. Stay tuned for some more. Got a lot more coming. I'm really excited. My name is Bruce Hill, New Skills, New You, your Better Questions coach, because I know one new skill will change your life. If I